Can't even hear me. Okay, we're back. I'm messing around with YouTube settings. Yeah, it's gonna be the last stream for Fear the Walking Dead. There will be since the next episode has to do with the Rick Grimes movies as far as giving us hints or some type of ideas about the group that took them, there will likely be like a 2 or 3 minute review after. But I'm really not enjoying discussing Fear the Walking Dead. There's not much I like about it. I'm going to put a link in the video description and also right in the comments section. I put it down there now for those watching live. Even if you want to vote after the fact, you guys can check the results if you're watching this once the video was posted. Let me make sure I got everything right here. All right. I'm going to share my thoughts. If you're new here, I'm going to share my thoughts about the episode. My God, that echoes so much. I'm moving, so I packed a lot away, and the room has an echo to it. Anyhow, I'm going to share my thoughts in just a couple minutes, my first impression review, and then we'll go into the comments section and see what you guys have to say about the episode. And in between that, we'll check the straw poll, so you guys can check out the straw poll. I mean, you guys can go and vote now while I'm doing the first impression review. This episode, essentially, I just felt like it was pointless. The only thing we did was one group was looking for Al, and they discovered there's more kids, and then Daniel gets over not wanting to shoot Strand in the face. That's all. The one whole episode, and that's all it was. And we saw a helicopter in the sky. That's essentially it. As far as the episode, I like the one shot. It was like a 3-second shot, and it showed parts of what seemed like a town. And this is a building criticism I'm having of the Walking Dead franchise in general. I feel like the budget overall for pretty much anything The Walking Dead related, it's not what it needs to be. So we get people talking in the woods, people talking on sides of the road, and we rarely get people in areas that are lived in. You know, like we rarely ever get people going through the suburbs or going through, I don't know, parts of downtown, the outskirts of downtown, parts of towns, small clusters of counties and shit like that. We just rarely see that. If we do see it, it's a split second, and then we're inside the building they're scavenging. And again, those are ways to get around a poor budget. And I feel like The Walking Dead is just suffering because you can only do so much with a poor budget. Anyway, kids, I thought it was stupid how these kids are in danger, and they have an army out there in the woods with them, but where was their army when they were 2 seconds away from getting bitten? Was that just convenience on a massive level or what? I don't know. Characters always separating and connecting. I'm getting a little frustrated with that. I just don't. It annoys me every time characters get separated and then they either connect minutes later, episodes later. Like now we have Al out there. Even in this episode, you have Charlie. They're like, we're going to get Charlie back. I'm just getting annoyed of it. Blood on the Lens is a little nitpick. I hate any movie show that does this. I can't even fathom the reason anyone would say, yes, let's try to, get our audience immersed in this world, but let's show there's a fucking camera lens there. I don't know who are these idiots who comes up with this blood on the camera lens shit. Like if you have a shot and blood gets on the camera lens, then don't pick a different shot because you're just showing the fact that it's breaking the immersion. Anyhow, that's a little nitpick that I have that really frustrates the shit out of me. It looks terrible. I think there's only like 1 or 2 different times where I've ever thought, okay, that actually worked, having the blood on the lens. Anyway, the dialogue was really poor in this episode, and it was, I'd have to look up the writer. If it's a good writer, you were having a bad day because the dialogue wasn't authentic discussion, how people authentically talk. The dialogue was worded based on the limited knowledge the writers wanted to give the audience. And, all dialogue essentially is, if you're writing dialogue, it's basically you trying to figure out how people can talk organically and how it sounds authentic without revealing shit you didn't want the audience to know. If you have these characters that have this piece of information, you either have to have some type of conflict in there or something, and that's got to be, authentic and organic within the story and not feel forced or frustrating. Nothing's more frustrating than the two really shitty Hollywood tricks to get around this. One is people just don't say anything. They'll be like, well, wait, where are you going? What are you doing? And the person's just like, for some reason, they had Madison do that a lot, which was real frustrating. But they've had characters do this where they just won't answer, or they'll give like this really flimsy bullshit answer. That dialogue in this episode was really either on the nose or it was purposefully trying to limit it. What we found out. And then the one upside I will say is there's definitely some potential with Daniel and Charlie. Yes, this is overused, but the potential is there. What I'm talking about is the obvious connection between Daniel losing a daughter and then Charlie having no parents. You know what I'm saying? You can do a Joel and Ellie vibe. What else? Logan and his daughter vibe. What other characters we got? Like a Daryl and Lydia vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's used in storytelling, but I think this would work really well. I think there's a real organic way they can pull those two characters together. Daniel lost his daughter, so this would be a daughter replacement. I think there's definitely story potential, but will they go that route? I don't know. It doesn't look like we've seen anything that will tell us whether they're going to come back and go in that direction. And yes, is Daniel gone? I think that would be insane. If Daniel is gone again, that's just so dumb they keep bringing him back for one episode. It's just like, what? Yeah, as far as, Meadowland thing saying about what The Walking Dead is done. You seem like the type of person who says, that shouldn't count because The Walking Dead did it. Well, when The Walking Dead does it, we'll say it sucks too. The Walking Dead has an episode where I remember the camera it was where they raided the satellite post. And if you go back and watch that review, I think I even mentioned it wasn't like terrible, but don't ever do that. Blood on the lens should never be done. Like I said, there's one or two times where it actually it doesn't break the immersion. It's not terrible, but it's still kind of just don't do it. I don't think blood on the lens should ever be done. But again, I keep that little wiggle room because there's some times where it actually feels like it doesn't break that immersion, but I would have to pick out the specific instances where that's the case. Anyhow, I'm putting the straw poll in the comment box right now. If you guys are new here, go and vote on this episode. There's also the video description. The link is in the video description as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it with... Excuse me, that's pretty much it with my thoughts and opinions on Fear the Walking Dead. This will be the last Fear the Walking Dead live stream. Like I said in the beginning of this, for those who just got here, I'm just not enjoying the show. And, next week, if I happen to miss it or if I'm late, I would rather just post whenever I can, maybe a 1 or 2 minute quickie review on it for those who still want to discuss it. But as far as live streams like tonight, I did not want to do a Fear the Walking Dead live stream at all. I was going to jump on and just do an open live stream, so maybe in a minute or two, if you guys don't have anything really you want to discuss, we can jump over to whatever topics you want to talk about. But Fear the Walking Dead just isn't doing it for me. So yeah, we'll check the straw poll in a minute. Let people get in here. Let me read some. That's actually not a poster. That's a towel. And I was going to post a video with the Rick towel this past week, but there was an issue opening the new post office box. I'm trying to get it organized where I do the Rick towel and some of the map mail, and I give the new post office box, but I don't have the address yet. And I was going to do that this week. The address on my ID doesn't match my lease, and that's because I procrastinated and I never got an updated ID, so I wasn't able to do it. I had to issue a new ID, so a bunch of stupid shit. I'm going to get the new address. for the post office box soon, and then I'll be doing the Matt Mail video. And there's also 2 Dexter videos coming up. For anyone excited, I finally finished a complete rewatch of the whole series of Dexter, and I got 2 videos that are gonna go on this channel. There's gonna be other content since I'm packed a good amount. I have some free time to get back to making some videos, so I'm gonna be uploading some stuff on my personal channel, which is Ronnie Hayes, and then the 2 Dexter videos on this channel, and then I want to get over to do that Breaking Bad video before the movie announces anything, because it's important that comes first. Anyway, and I need a good title for something on with the Megapath Presents, or within this community. It's kind of like a Hall of Fame type deal where TV shows or movies, we're gonna have different lists, but anytime a TV show, after I rewatch the complete series, we're going to discuss it in a video, and then we'll give it like this seal of approval or Hall of Fame type shit. And Dexter is going to be the first, not only because that's the one I just recently watched, but I'm going to go back and rewatch Breaking Bad and do the same thing, The Shield and do the same thing. These are TV shows that have to be complete. It has to be, so The Walking Dead isn't going to get on the list for a while. It has to be complete, done, and over. So we're going to be covering some older TV shows, and we'll give it like this special seal of approval. So if you guys got any neat names or titles for that shit, let me know. And I'm coming up, I would like to come up with some type of cool animation down the line. We don't need anything for when we start, because it's only 1 or 2 shows. But I know we'll have Sons of Anarchy we'll look. And if you guys want to nominate some shows, we can do that as well. There's also, what else do we have? I'm not sure, but there's a bunch. Anyhow, and they don't have to be newer shows either. You can have older shows. They just have to be good and meet that type of enjoyment, not just how well it's done or how big the budget is. The main thing is how enjoyable it is. That Rick poster is awesome, but yeah, that Rick towel is great. There's 2 side by side. It's actually 2 big ones. I put them up because the walls are bare. I thought it would help with some of the echo, but it didn't help at all. Anyway, kids annoying this episode won't answer Alicia's questions. Hate Hollywood for that. Yeah, I mean, they should just say, yo, there's people out here, they wear armor. How fucking hard is that? Unless they know more, then it's like, well, at least have them say that, and it won't be so bad. Matt Vanessa, thank you very much for the dono, helping to keep this going. I appreciate that. Charlie only ticked me off tonight when she said she never killed people. No, she killed Nick. What the fuck? Yeah, that moment was annoying as shit, because she didn't say she never killed people, but I know what you mean. She said she scavenges, but she doesn't kill people like Daniel. And I get what you're saying, but, they had a really messed up method where they essentially were forcing people to starve. So it's kind of like I lock you in a room, or I don't let you leave to eat, and you end up dying, and I say, well, I didn't kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys were stealing all the food, and they had nothing, and you were waiting till they either left or died. Yeah, you are involved in that. Like, your actions got people killed, or pushed people out in the road to get them killed. If I put a gun to your head and I make you leave your house in the apocalypse and you die, I'm partly responsible for that. Because if I didn't do that, you wouldn't have died. Not in that way. So, how they wrote Charlie in that moment was stupid. And she directly killed Nick. And again, that was revenge, not scavenging, but she still killed him. Anyhow, what else we got? Hint with the cigar tonight. Abraham fans went, wait, what? I didn't even think of Abraham, to be honest, because it's so long after all the events. I just thought that just doesn't match up for me. You trim your bum fluff? Bumfluff. Oh, Bumfluff. I get it. I never heard that type of creative name. But yeah, I went to trim it just because when you let it grow wild, it's all over the place. And I trimmed too much. I was talking with Juliet, yelling at her in the other room, and I went, and it was just uneven. And I said, fuck it. So I just took like a size 4 and just shaped it all up. Not shaped it up, but you know what I mean. Trimmed it down. I'm actually getting annoyed at my beard anyway. Summer's coming, so between my hair, I gotta go get a haircut. My hair's getting way too long. Between my hair and my beard, I need to get a haircut. Tony Courant with a $5 dono. That series sounds awesome, Ronnie. Keep up the work, man. Love your streams. You probably checked it out, but Deadwood, bro, for the Hall of Fame. Yo, Deadwood is one I actually did watch, and I just noticed the Deadwood movie just came out on HBO. I'm eager to see that. But thank you very much, Tony, for the donation. Yeah, if you guys have any type of names, and again, it could be like the seal of approval. I'm going to get someone who is into creating, animations or images and have them draw up or do up. I don't know if that's going to mess with the focus on the camera, but I'm going to have someone do up some type of, map seal of approval and shit. But Dexter is going to be the first one. There's 2 Dexter videos coming. What do you think of Morgan either being taken or voluntarily leaving with the helicopter people and joining the Rick movies? I would rather him in the Rick movies than in Fear the Walking Dead, to be honest. Hey, Ronnie, where are you moving to? I'm not moving to a different state. I'm just moving to a cheaper neighborhood. So nothing exciting, just relocating to a cheaper part of town. Going to the Georgia Film Academy. They do internships with the Walking Dead Marvel Indie Productions. I'm going to try to get into being a grip set dresser for movie and TV sets. Well, good luck with that, John. I hope that works out for you. Was the cigar Daniel kept a Madison reference or for Abe? Let me know. Oh, I have no idea, either or. Breaking Bad will be up there. Yes, Dexter, hell yeah. Excited to see those. Dexter's flat out amazing. Rip. You know what? Dexter has a nice break with it. The first 4 are just absolutely incredible. The first 4 seasons. I know 5 comes back and it's kind of because of something big. 5 kind of shakes it up a bit. I think 6 is the one with Tom Cruise's son. That's probably my least favorite Dexter season. And then 7 and 8. I actually enjoyed 7 and 8 a lot better this time than I did when I watched them with my expectations. We got a $10 donation from Chris Stanley. Thank you very much for the dono and the support. It's sad with what the show has become, Ronnie. They just need to end it now. Yeah, I'm not into it. The only thing I'm into is the Rick stuff. The stuff that connect. I feel like that's terrible. Imagine if that wasn't even in the show. Like, I wouldn't even be watching. I would tell you guys, listen, I'll try my best, but there's a chance I'm not even going to watch the episodes. Like, nothing happened. You had Strand Rescue, what's his name? And again, there's nothing groundbreaking. There's nothing... It's shit we've seen a million times before. All he did was save him with, big whoop. They did a helicopter, gimmick. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. There's nothing happened. And then you got, what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. Kids, we're chasing our tail. Kids said they're setting these stupid zombie, blockades, which we already fucking saw with the Saviors. It's almost recreated exactly. And then, like I said, we're chasing our tail because now we find out, or the characters found out what we already knew. It's like, how Hitchcock said, you want to create suspense? We'll show a bomb on the train, but let the viewer know there's a bomb on the train, but the characters don't. Well, what The Walking Dead, or Fear the Walking Dead, is doing is they're doing that, but the bomb's a dummy bomb, and it's not actually going to blow up, and we know that too. You know what I'm saying? So we know there's a bomb, but it's a dummy bomb, and then there's no tension, because it's like, who gives a fuck? But when are the characters going to find it? Like, it's just, blah. George Prescott says, what if the Vultures worked for the helicopter group like Jade? Who are the Vultures? The kids? Helicopter group like Jadis? They just starve people until they die or send in the herd to get bit and turn. they see Madison escape and took her. I mean, that's kind of a loaded question there. I'm gonna stick with the Madison one. No, she's either dead or she got out. You know, as far as Madison's only good if you put her on the main show. Taking her and putting her in the Rick movies doesn't do anything. So she's either dead or she got away. She has no connection to the helicopter group. I mean, she could, but there wouldn't be any point, I don't think. Why did Daniel leave? It makes no sense why he would leave. He went to find someone or meet something. I don't know. XL. Why did they have Daniel with a cat instead of a dog? I don't know a lot about cats, but they don't listen to you like that. I bet it was because they gave Daniel a dog in The Walking Dead. I've seen some cats do some shit, but on TV and, in videos. You know what I'm saying? And that's rare. From what I know, everyone who has a cat that I know, the cat's a dick and doesn't listen to you for shit, If my cat was doing something, I was like, yo, unless I got food, that bitch ain't coming anywhere near me. Ronnie, Daniel's coming back. He told Sarah he'll be back for his cigar. Think he's going to remove Logan from the mill. Fear the Walking Dead is being used to Easter egg the Walking Dead movie. Yeah, I don't know what Daniel's doing. Manhammer, I'm worried about the other spin-off and the Rick movies. I'm starting to think AMC just doesn't want to spend the right amount of money to create good stories. They be milking it, boy. Yeah, that's part of AMC's problem is the budget's not what it needs to be. It's you can watch the show and see it's not what it needs to be. Bates Motel is nominated. Also, Green Arrow. I know Green Arrow won't make it. I'll tell you that right now. At least not my type of list. Green Arrow is not even going to come close. Pretty much anything in the CW. I know there's an audience for those. I get it. But it just wouldn't make the list. It just wouldn't make the cut. And I know there's fans out there with that type of genre, but it's just not going to happen. Bates Motel might. I've watched the first 2 or 3 seasons and it was really good. I watched one season and everyone was just like making out, not even making out, but hooking up. And then when I went to talk about it online, everyone on, not everyone, but every fucking post that Bates Motel, the official website, the official Facebook account or Twitter account put out was who are you shipping this week? Literally, that's all it was. And I just got so annoyed. I stopped in like the 3rd or 4th season or some shit like that. But I'm going to go finish it out. Yeah, I'm going to come up with some type of good name. You guys got some suggestions, but some kind of good SEAL name for it. Ray Donovan is a solid show, especially first 2 seasons on Showtime with Liev Schreiber. I'll have to check that out. That's one of those shows where you hear the name, but I don't remember any like trailers or nothing. Charlie's a joke of a character. Ronnie just finished Ozark today. Shit's dope, especially season 2. Yeah, Ozark is a nice one. Map must visit TV shows. I'll think about it, but I'm looking for something that really has a sting to it. Something that really has an interesting, some type of seal. I don't know, seal or Hall of Fame type shit, but something that has a nice zing to it. You can pull off either look, but I love your face. Thank you very much, Blonde. PT, I appreciate that. Gave up on Fear a while back. Laugh out loud. Anything new with Doomsday Kingdom? Yeah, we're actually changing printers with issue 4, which will allow us to keep consistent stock on hand. Because like I said, right now we're paying what it costs like per issue. So keeping stock on hand to sell the like $4 floppies with no signatures and stuff. Like we just can't do that once we sell the initial run or what it was with the pre-order. So once we change printers and we get going, we're looking at some really interesting things for this back half of 2019 because it's issue 4, issue 5, volume 1, which contains issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And like I said, those will be with the new printer for 4 and 5, and then we'll do the crowdfunding for volume 1, which will help us fund volume 2 in the back end. That's like where we're really going to pick off. And issue 5 is the important one because that's going to story and plot wise, because there's a chunk of it that's just chaos, that downbreak of society or downfall of society chaos. But issue 5 has that one moment in it where it's like, okay, you see the beginnings of a plot where you can kind of guess what kind of ride you're gonna go on, but there's still a lot of unknowns, so it's really fun. I got one thing hidden in there, and I'm just excited to get to that because I've kept it hidden. There's only a couple little telltale signs of what's coming, but I can't fucking wait for that. But yeah, I'm doing lettering right now. The artist is finishing with the last like 3 pages, I think, as far as coloring. So we're getting really close for the issue 4 release, and then we'll get into issue 5. Just showing support, bro. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that. Check out 13 Monkeys. It's insanely addictive and critically acclaimed. I'll check that out. I love the movie for sure, so I'll check that out. When Alicia was staring right at the helicopter and said, "What the hell was that?" I was like, "It's a Megazord. What the fuck do you think it is?" Yeah. She probably should have said, "Wait, who the fuck are they?" You know? Have you touched base with DD Gaming? No, I haven't talked to him actually in a little bit. I will though. I friggin' forgot to hit him up. Lots been going on. E Beach 72 with a $2 dono. Ray Donovan, Fixer in the Cali. Highly recommend. All right, so we got a couple Ray Donovan recommends. I'll check it out. Q&A. Do you have a issue with Daniel crawling under the truck and just sitting there instead of crawling out of the other side? I have an issue with fucking everything. I mean, you're telling me the car goes so slow a horde can conveniently just fucking follow them? I'm in a car, there's a horde behind me. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bust a left, go down a little bit, bust another left, and then burn the fuck out. They're gonna be heading the opposite way of the whole fucking community. Who are they? Maybe they were out of gas. I don't know. I hope that was it. Maybe they were out of gas. And didn't he find this car by going to maybe that was like a new person he robbed, but I could have sworn he just like found a fucking car. Like just found a zombie because it looked like the zombie he killed wasn't fresh. And the car, the air in the tires worked, the battery worked, the fucking gas in the... whatever. But yeah, I had an annoyance with pretty much most of it. Really liked this episode. Kids gain their senses. Skidmark and the helicopter at the end were great, but I hope Daniel doesn't disappear again and next episode isn't all Athea. I tell you what, next episode is probably almost definitely all Athea. That's all that was in the trailer, the preview for the next episode, and that's a known gimmick that The Walking Dead does to utilize the budget because you don't need to pay the other actors. They're not in that episode. So for that episode, the only actor you need to pay is Althea and whoever the fuck else is in it with her. You know, especially if they're new characters, they're probably not getting paid much. The latest season of The Flash hurts worse than gallstones. Ouch. Have you and Juliet seen Toy Story 4 yet? No, you know what? I should have taken her to see that. I didn't even realize it was out. I took her to see Child's Play yesterday, but at the very last minute, she said, "You know what, Dad? I'm sorry, but I don't want to see it. Chucky looks so stupid." And I said, "Listen, here's a couple previews. One shows Chucky pretty good. You let me know by the time we get there if you want to see it or not." And then she watched the previews and she laughed and she said, "Dad, I am not watching that. I'm not even red boxing that." And that's when I knew, wow, they fucked up, because I tell you what, Chucky looks stupid as shit. I still want to see it because I'm a Child's Play fan. But the way they have Chucky look, he looks so fucking dumb, you know? I tried watching Dark on Netflix. I just couldn't get into it. Like, I'll try it again since they got 2 seasons out. Maybe I can get some, something going. But yeah, Stranger Things Season 3, I hope that's going to be good. You want a good-ass show? Check out Warrior on Cinemax from Bruce Lee's writings. First season just happened. Wait a minute. I didn't even hear of that. I read his book. Actually, I read all of his books, but there was a book. It was a white cover with Bruce Lee. I think it was like a profile shot or a sideways shot, and it was like the Warrior or something. I had a Bruce Lee book called Warrior. I want to check that out now because, like I said, I read everything he's ever been involved with. There used to be a guy, I think his name is John Little. He used to collect all of Bruce Lee's writings and put it into book form. Matt, thank you very much. Vanessa with the $10 dono. Check out Hell on Wheels, pretty good show. I'll take a peek at that. Ever try watching Deadly Class or reading it along with Preacher? I tried Preacher. It got a little too weird for me. I just couldn't. Again, some of these shows, it's not bad once you go back and binge. Like Preacher, I couldn't give a fuck to watch it week to week. I tried it. It was something where it was keeping my interest, but then it's one of those shows where it's like, I don't hate it. I have some interest in it, but I always find other shit to do. It's one of those shows, you know? Like Deadly Class, I started reading the comic years ago, and I just totally lost interest. Again, it's one of those things where I'm gonna give it a shot, but yeah, I'm always finding other things to do, you know? Series on the map. Or series mapped. Series on the map. Wait, series on the map. I get what you're saying because it's like putting it on the map. See, that's the type of idea or the type of seal I'm looking for. A clever play on words. So, like put the show on the map or something like that. You get what I mean? Like a nice play on words. Go watch Billions or Succession. Yeah, a lot of people keep saying Succession. I watched the trailer. It didn't look interesting, but there's a lot of shows and movies that have bad trailers, in my opinion, that were actually enjoyable. So we'll check that out, too. Garrett Poncho with a $5 dono. Thank you very much for supporting the streams. What happened to Dwight in this episode, and do you think Fear characters will be in the Rick Grimes trilogy? No, I don't think Fear characters will be in the trilogy. Maybe one, you know, but I don't think they will be. And what happened to Dwight in this episode? He's off with John and June looking for Sherry. They mentioned that once, I think. Verified and certified only on map. Question mark. I'm pretty firm recording now. Have you ever watched Happy on Sci-Fi? No, I didn't. I hear that's coming to an end, though, isn't it? Could possibly the soldier or whatever is a droid or robotic contraption, moves different. I doubt it because we've seen one that got killed and it was a human, so I highly doubt it. Daniel purposefully drove slow to lead. I mean, they could have like a robot or droid, but from what we've seen so far, we've seen humans. Daniel purposefully drove slow to lead the walkers to his gate to pick them off one by one, he said. Yeah, well, that was fucking stupid. I mean, he could have just bounced, and like I said, he could have just led them away from his fucking gate. He doesn't even need to take the chance to stab them. Justifies a show that I'm going to look at. That Rick poster is awesome, bro. Is it new? Yeah, it's new. There's going to be a video coming up as soon as I get that new post office box on lockdown. They wanted to kill off the horde so it wouldn't hurt anyone else. My bad if you read this twice, forgot to. Yeah, still fucking stupid. If you're a survivor out there, you know, they could pick them off later if they wanted to protect other people, but, you know, that whole idea is just dumb. You got to keep yourself safe. Watch Billions, just do it. You'll be happy you did. I'll check it out. Someone said Al is a terrible character. There's one thing with Al that's frustrating. I remember the actor from Lost. She played, wait a minute, she was someone's sister, because it was like the brother and sister got crashed on the plane, and then she was kind of dating one of the guys, I think, if I remember correctly. And I remember her acting was fine, but in some of this, it feels too forced, like she's trying to be a man. I mean, no offense, just, I don't know. There's something off about Al as a character and how the actress is portraying her. And like the way she speaks or how she does it, there's just something weird about it. I'm not sure what you're saying, AA. Why, though? What's the point of reviewing a garbage show? I don't know what you're talking about in reference. Like, it'd be nice if you put a complete sentence for us. But as far as what's the point of reviewing a garbage show, because people want opinions on shows. Like, I don't know which show you're talking about specifically, but people want opinions. So if you watch a movie and it sucks, you don't go, well, I'm not going to review it because it sucks. No, you review it and tell people it sucks, you know? What if the next episode they find a book on how to fix planes or a plane mechanic, then a store with plane parts? I wouldn't be surprised. Fuck the Child's Play reboot. Clark Gabe, thank you for the dono. And again, Garrett, I appreciate that donation, homie. What else we got here? Someone retracted their message, huh? Whatever, brother. Have you heard the rumor that Andrew Lincoln filmed a cameo scene for the finale of Fear the Walking Dead? Is this real or just BS, you think? Bro, I haven't heard anything. I'm moving away from doing any speculation, predictions, leaks, or anything like that on the channel. Like I said, if you guys are interested, there's a few YouTube channels out there that cover everything The Walking Dead. There's spoilers on Facebook, but we're just not going to cover them here. I'm moving away from things that expire quickly, and I want to get into videos that have a long shelf life. So I personally don't care if there's any leaks or cameo. I just don't care. Mainly because it's a fucking spoiler, bro. You know what I'm saying? But in the same strength, no, I haven't looked or heard anything, and I won't look up and look for that type of information. Check out Killing Eve. I'll give it a look. Again, that's one of those shows where I saw the trailer and not everyone, but like 2 or 3 people are like, yo, watch that. And I'm like, yeah, the trailer looked terrible. But again, there's been bad trailers in the past, so I might check it out. What did someone say about Althea was the chick from Taken? Yeah, she was in Taken, but I remember her from Lost. Did you hear the recent theory about the CRM? What the fuck is CRM? The fuck is CRM? Being based in Charlotte, NC, instead of Ohio, which makes sense. Wait, are you talking about the Commonwealth? I don't know what the fuck the CRM is. After stream, please, Limbo or something. I don't think we're doing an after stream, brother. This book about Little Prince needs to go. It's stale at this point. Oh yeah, I don't really care about the book. I just kind of isn't that the book they gave to Charlie or some shit? I just kind of looked at it and was like, whatever. Why the fuck is Chucky a robot? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. See, that stuff was kind of stupid. That's one thing I did look at. I did watch the intro to the movie. When Juliet said she didn't want to see it, I really don't care about spoilers for Chucky. So I looked up, bootleg clips of the movie. Everything I saw so far, I had a friend that said it was fun. Everything I saw looked stupid as shit. Like, it's just a worker who gets fired, so he basically removes the safety features from the software. And it's like, how fucking stupid is that? What if it was an AI and Mark Hamill was the actual person working with the AI in some way where he develops how the AI grows? And he had kind of like this real edgy sense of humor, kind of a dark guy, twisted in some way, but some shit just happens and it fucks his mood up. And in a twisted way, he picks up his vibe by going over twisted scenarios with this prototype Chucky. And, it eventually would be that, he tries to expand the bounds of this AI that learns on its own in a way where it's kind of like an artificial soul, like creating a person. You get what I'm saying? Where they're trying to, where's the line between a robot and then artificial intelligence and yada, yada, yada. And in a way, he creates this twisted, so that way the Chucky still has personality. That's a big thing for me that sucks, because you went with this. That's why Chucky was so fun, I thought. It was this serial killer who got voodooed into a doll, which is fucking stupid. But back in the day, it was fun that they went in that direction where it was fucking stupid, but they did it right, And he remember when the girl picks the doll up and Chucky's all, she's like, I'm gonna throw you into the fire, and Chucky's like, oh, you're a fucking bitch, you know what I'm saying? He was talking like a real person in the doll. He had character, and that's what people liked about Chucky. You get an AI and it's all like, well, I want you to be happy. You're not happy. I'm gonna cut your shirt. You must be broken. It's fucking lame. Again, I'm gonna watch it. Maybe I'll like the whole movie in its whole, but the pieces I saw were stupid. I enjoyed this episode, although there. I love getting new zombie content. I love new zombie content as well. CRM was on the map. Althea found. Oh, okay. I forgot about that. If Daniel was going to lead the walkers to the gate and pick them off, why would a breach in the gate be a problem when he could just drive through the gate and pick them off still? I think he should have just taken them away. CRM, the group who took Rick. Yeah, I forgot about the map with the fucking little card reader things. Do you know what it is you were supposed to? I don't know what you're talking about. Do you think the group will go back and kick Logan out? Oh, yeah, because he's already in it, so that's got to be a part of the story coming up, I would imagine. Let's check out the... I'm giving it a dislike. We're going to take the webcam off a moment, and I'm going to vote dislike for the episode. And it has an overwhelming like. You know what? This is becoming a tricky one.
Dang, it has barely any dislike.
Yeah, it's got only 7% dislike. It's got 9% hate. It's got 13% love. Again, meh is a big one. That I understand.
That's meh.
Yeah, meh. I thought we would have a little more... it'd be a little more equal between meh and like, to be honest. Again, there's nothing here where I feel like it's downright god-awful. If we only had a little bit of Walking Dead content, like if this was the new show, it would be better simply because it wouldn't be a repeat of stuff we've seen 1,000 times. But I'm still a little bit shocked at how high the like is. I mean, nothing happened. But then again, you got to keep in mind, the people voting are people who are interested in it. So I guess when you look at it in that aspect, yeah, it does make sense that like would be high up on the poll. So it's basically half, because it's at 50% like. So basically half the viewers like it. There's a chunk of love. So it's still positive. I wouldn't say overwhelming, but yeah, because if we take out the meh, it's an overwhelmingly positive. You're at like a 70-30 for how many people are positive into it. It depends on what you're trying to say.
You have the mic.
Oh, my bad. Q&A. Do you think the group... Oh, yeah. I already read that one. You little turd. Only 5.
Persuaded.
Love you. Tell Chibi I hate her guts. What do you think of the kids with the guns letting their friends almost die running from 2 soldiers, but then suddenly having enough balls to ambush our 2 people? I mentioned that before. It's so fucking stupid. And then the the zombies were gonna eat them, and I think they even played like superhero music when Morgan and Alicia show up, and then seconds later the army's right there. It's like, oh Jesus. Slizzle says, I enjoyed Strand, Daniel, and of course Morgan, and their acting I didn't love. Hey, Ronnie, have you watched the new Black Mirror episodes? If so, are they any good? I was gonna watch them, and everyone I know said they are fucking terrible. Like, on a new level. And I was shocked, because I love Black Mirror. But all my friends were like, no. So, I'm waiting. I'm not liking the sound of that because they're usually the ones to say, yo, and then we talk about how twisted the episodes are. But no, they are. They're saying don't even. What?
Pay for it.
All right, good. Ryan, thank you very much for the dono. Favorite horror movie franchise? Mine's the Friday the 13th. Horror movie franchise? That's a tricky one, man, because I'm one of those concept fans. Like, I'm a huge concept fan of Friday the 13th. If I took the slashers, Friday the 13th has been one of my favorites ever since I was a kid. I enjoyed that. I liked Freddy, but I don't know. I couldn't find him. I didn't find him scary. I think when I was real little, he was scary for a moment, but then once the dream thing, it just wasn't scary. But I still liked it. I thought it was cool, in a fun way. Horror franchise. I think I'm gonna have to go with Friday the 13th. Although I think I might rate Texas Chainsaw, like the first one, as far as like a movie. I think it might be better, movie wise. Again, it's weird to do it because it's like one of them I enjoy more, and mainly because of the concept I'm such a fan of. Like the Jason, the theme song, the look, the feel, the vibe, the camp, the lake, the whole idea, like the background, love all that shit. But I think Texas Chainsaw, the first movie was done, I mean, fucking great. You know what I mean? No, there's no Talking Dead. It's not going to be on until the finale and the premiere. That's the only time they're going to do those. Mo Collins or Sarah is only good for one-liners, like the one where she said Strand was like a sitting turd. Yeah, I didn't even like that one-liner. Can you give info on that amazing portrait of Rick behind you? Yeah, it's a towel. I don't know if Ethan's watching. If Ethan's watching, put your link in the video description. It's a towel. Ethan has these towels and sandals and flip-flops and stuff that they make. I'm going to have the link. The new map mail video is going to be coming up. The newest one that comes up, if you guys keep an eye out on the channel, it's going to have a link to where you can buy those towels. I use them as posters because they're fucking huge and it's a crisp image, you know what I mean? So I just use them as posters. And they're real thin, so it's not like you're going to get like hair and dust and shit to collect on it. So it's like a material poster is what I use it for. Ronnie, did you see the new Walking Dead game coming out for PS4 VR? I mean, I heard of one years ago, but I haven't seen anything on it yet. Yeah, Spin. I'm gonna have to say that's a no. I've heard a lot of criticism for the new Black Mirror episodes, and I didn't hear a single person mention anything about gay dudes getting it on. So I'm gonna have to say it's not that. It's not about that. Definitely not. Besides, that's only one episode. How ain't there like 6 or 8 episodes or something? And they're all different. It's not like it's connected to the whole show. So I mean, that one little scene, I don't think people are gonna damn a whole series over that. Friday the 13th over Halloween ? Well, I think the Halloween movies, 2 of them, I think are done better than what's Friday the 13th have done. But I do really enjoy Halloween. I think Halloween would, if I can put them in a list, I think it would be Friday the 13th, Halloween. This is a toss-up between Freddy and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just because I like that, gritty, brutal, bloody, gory. I like Freddy, but it's too comical to be scary. It's just not scary, Even the new one, it's just not scary. I think Halloween, I think is overrated. The remake, I think it's overrated. It's not terrible, but it has one really bad moment where the doctor stands up wearing the mask, and even hold on. All right, yeah. Juliet plays this video game where you could be all the slasher characters, and she wanted to watch the new Halloween. We watched the new Halloween movie recently. Come here in the camera.
No.
No, please, come here real quick. We watched the new Halloween movie recently. What did you think about when... Keep your face in the... What did you think about when the doctor pops up wearing the mask?
Oh my god, I thought that was so cringy.
That was terrible.
He's so chunky and stuff. And his, like, the mask was crinkling by his neck, and he was just like, hello. he was like,
It was so
hello?
Terrible.
Can you hear?
All right, thank you.
It was so cringy. He was just like this. And
That
he's
was...
the doctor.
yeah.
He's the mental doctor. Why is he doing that?
It was just dumb.
He's like, now I know how you feel.
That was the single worst moment in Halloween. I mean, the absolute single worst moment. The second was having Jamie Lee Curtis say, "Happy Halloween, Michael." Like, I don't know why Hollywood thinks this shit is badass. Like, what do you... I'm going to slap everyone who's on the production team, from Jamie Lee Curtis to the screenwriter, when they finally trap Michael and she's waiting in the shadows. And that is an awesome... Again, because it's a flip. Usually,
like the grandma?
yeah, before it was Michael Myers waiting in the shadows, and then, yeah, the grandma. Juliet calls her the grandma. It was Halloween. It was the Myers coming out from the shadow. It's a flip on that.
Grandma got skills.
You know, yeah, it should have just been... we're not stupid. Don't spoon feed us this stupid shit. Just have grandma come out of the shadows and stab him. I like how grandma was the one who disappeared after being thrown off the balcony. Shit like that's awesome. The rewrite in Halloween hurt it.
I was just like, how?
Yeah.
The leg should have been broken. They should have went like this way.
Go ahead, back to your game.
Her knee should have went like that way.
Yeah, it probably should have.
Love you.
Love you too. Thanks for coming in.
This smell here.
What? Anyway, so yeah, a couple like really stupid moments. But the Friday the 13th remake, it had, I think, more stupid moments in it. So anyway, Friday the 13th over Halloween ? Because the video game. Oh, all right. What else we got? Do you prefer the older Texas Chainsaws over the newer ones? Absolutely. I enjoyed the new one with Jessica Biel. I think the new one with Jessica Biel, well, it's not new now. It's like 10 years old now, but the one with Jessica Biel's all right. I think the original one was really good, and then it's a scatter shot from there on. One of the newer ones where it was her cousin is fucking terribly dumb. I mean, it is goddamn awful. Ronnie, I know I might get some backlash for this, but I love the original Scream 1. It's my favorite slasher flick. I have a case of all the Scream movies, and I really, really, really liked Scream 1 when it first came out. I mean, I loved it because, again, I was into the slasher movies, and horror's my favorite. Back then it was horror sci-fi. I don't know if it's still the same, but if you went to like a rental store, horror sci-fi would be in the same area. That was my favorite genre or section in the movie store. So when that came out, I was like, oh shit. And it was kind of fresh, and they did something new with it. But when you rewatch it, after that love fades, it pisses you off. Because you get a guy in a Scream costume stalking them in a fucking grocery store. And again, this is the shit that you might miss because it's new and it's fresh and like some things slip by you. But then when you rewatch it, you know it's coming up and you're waiting for it and it clicks. Wait, they're in a grocery store. What the fuck? Like, what? That's so dumb. So I did like it. I still like it for some nostalgia, but yeah, it has its moments. Better Call Saul is great. I like it more than Breaking Bad. Bob, such a great actor. The storyline is solid, rewarding. Sorry, I'm behind. The video paused. I gotta get back into Better Call Saul. I stopped watching it so that way I can binge it. You should check out the American Horror series. It's really good and better than these horror movies they try to make and put in theaters and da-da-da. I'm gonna check it out one of these days. I have never liked haunting shits. I just don't find them scary. Ghosts aren't real, and they don't do anything for me. I mean, zombies aren't real either, but you can imagine what it would be like for being outnumbered and being eaten alive by doll teeth, how painful, and you know what I'm saying, like the smell and the look and the whatever. But when it comes to like ghosts and shit, I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me. But again, it's on the list for one of these days. I'll check it out. Oh shit, I think I missed something here. Did I miss a super chat? All right. Ryan gave $1. There was no comment. I wasn't saying anyone was hating on gays. Just to be clear, the guys are not gay. They're straight black guys, but in the video game, they fall in love as fake characters. I didn't know what you're saying. It sounded like they were just gay guys, but yo, there was a show that did some shit like that, and I stopped watching it straight up because it was what was it called? Sense8. I think it was a Netflix show. I really liked the premise. There was like 8 people and they can connect their senses and shit, and like one person can put his mind into another person. There's only 8 of them and they can do that. But then out of nowhere, there was this scene where this gay dude just has sex with another guy, just sharing senses, and I was like, and it's the Wachowski brothers, whoever the fuck did The Matrix, and I think they both are transitioning into, what were they? They were guys transitioning into girls or some shit like that. So then it hits me. It's one of, sorry, but it's in a fucking gender piece where you're just simply having some straight guy be gay just because, I don't know. That type of shit is stupid because characters are characters. That would be like me writing a gay character and then just saying, yeah, he's going to be straight now because he saw some hot chick. That's as weak as just... So I stopped watching Sense8 for that and a number of things that were just way too... They laid it on way too thick. That got pretty bad. It's a shame, though, because the premise has some potential. I thought Lori was going to say, Happy Halloween, motherfucker, like Busta Rhymes. Ouch. Ouch. Busta Rhymes, so fucking dumb. He's not dumb. I don't care about him, but his role in Halloween, oh my god. I think that was H2O, or... No, that was the one after H2O, right? Anyway. Have you heard about the upcoming horror movie called Midsommar? I heard about that. It's supposed to be really good. Made by the guy who did Hereditary. Yeah, I heard about that. I might check that out. Are you a fan of Hostel? I don't think so. I remember watching it back in the day and didn't understand what the hype was about. But again, I think the hype was about like so gory or something. I didn't think it was that gory, but I might rewatch it again one of these days. How do you feel about them re-releasing Avengers Endgame with extended footage in theaters just to top Avatar? Is it cheating if you re-release a movie? Well, I don't think that should count. You know what I'm saying? Like, your initial numbers should be what you release. That would be like counting every single time they bring Jaws back and show it at the $1 matinee. Are you going to keep... Because they show Jaws at my movie theater every fucking Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that. Every like Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. So are you adding all those sales constantly? No, because that's fucking dumb. So in my opinion, I think it's cool for Avengers Endgame fans. But should it be counted to, I think that's cheap. Are you a Terminator fan? Yes, I am. The new one looks decent. It's good to see Linda Hamilton again. But they're also going to completely ignore all the other movies after T2. Any thoughts? Yeah, it's fucking dumb. Well, it's only dumb because here's Hollywood getting to the point where not only is everything remakes, but now we're suddenly saying, okay, we admit we fucked up numerous times. We're going to just go back and pretend like those didn't happen and all this other shit. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as the movie is good, I'm cool with it because the other Terminator movies are dog shit. I only like Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. There was actually parts in Salvation that I did enjoy. I know that gets a lot of shit, but I think that's better than Terminator 3 by a lot. So if they did it and it's good, then fuck it. That's what's up, Off topic, but did you hear the new Stranger Things trailer? Those kids are aging like crazy. Yeah, the good thing with that though is they're skipping time in the show, so their aging lines up with their characters in the show. You know what I mean? So their characters are the same age as they are in real life, the actors. And I think that's good because they're skipping like 2 years in between each. I think the season 1 to season 2 skip like a year and a half, and then season 2 and the season 3 skip 2 years. So the characters and the actors are aging at least close. You know, they might be a few 6 months off, but that's little. You know what I mean? So I think that's fine because it's going the way it is. That's another thing too. I think there's a couple comments mentioning a new book. I wanted to read this because there is, oh, it's right here. There is a new book coming out called, let me lower this. For those interested, it is called The Walking Dead Typhoon. You can actually go and read the first chapter. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can actually read the first 22 pages if you want. It is a, let me make sure I word this right. It is a Walking Dead spin-off, but it takes place in the comic universe, not the TV show. I want to make sure I say that right. It's hardcover, 400 pages. It's published by Skybound Books, and it releases October 1st, 2019. It's written in English. It's 6x9, and it weighs 1.7 pounds. It's fucking $28. So there you go. And again, it is canon within the comic book universe. And I'll put the website. It's on the skybound.com website. I'll put the link in the video description right now. Not the video description, the comment box right now if you guys, anyone wants to click on the link and read the first 22 pages. But like I said, it is canon in the comic universe, so the TV characters, that doesn't apply. That doesn't matter. I thought I missed a dono. I guess I didn't. You heard Banshee on Cinemax. It's dope, like cooked Coke. I watched a fight from that and it looked pretty good, but I haven't sat down to watch any of it. Ronnie, I never heard people talk about My Bloody Valentine. What's your opinion on the movie? I took a date to that. I think it was like a 3D version. It might have been the remake or something. And I didn't walk away from it, you know, ever wanting to watch it again, but I didn't despise it, you know? So that's pretty much all I got from it. Can The Walking Dead land a massive actor in season 10, or do you see a lot of minor characters coming into the fold? I would be hype for Liam Neeson or Woody Harrelson. Yeah, me and you are definitely in conflict there because I love Liam Neeson, but I don't want him anywhere near the Walking Dead TV show. Same thing for Woody Harrelson. I love him, but I don't want him anywhere near it. Walking Dead's a tricky one. I think Walking Dead needs to focus on actors who are up and coming or lesser known, but they're in a bunch of different things. They have the talent. Like Michael Rooker is a perfect example of that. Up and coming or actors who haven't done something in a while, like In the Light, like Norman Reedus was. He was out, he was known, but he wasn't, the same status as he was before he took Daryl. I think they should focus on that. When you focus on someone who's huge, bro, they're gonna take it over. They're gonna want all the main shit. You can't do that. Liam Neeson's gonna show up and be some side character. He's never gonna do that, and then you gotta pay him too much. No, fuck no, it'll ruin the show. Have you ever seen Cannibal Holocaust? It's a very disturbing film, but it's well made. Yeah, I've watched that. Do you think The Walking Dead Season 9 is overrated? I think it's good and an improvement over 7 and 8, but I don't think it's top 3. As far as seasons go, it would be in my top 3. So for my rating standards, I don't think it's overrated. It depends though what you're hearing. Everything I'm hearing is it's a great season. I'm not hearing anything that's outrageous. Like it's the fucking best thing since sliced bread. I'm not hearing that. Maybe a few, but again, the majority say, yeah, it's just a damn good season. Did you hear about how they're coming out with another Walking Dead comic and it takes place in China and the comic is going to be called The Walking Dead Typhoon? Okay, we just talked about that. It's a novel, not a comic, so there's going to be no artwork. It's just words. Excuse my ignorance if you have previously explained this question before. How can I send something to Matt Mail? Yeah, the Matt Mail is going to be open for the old Matt Mail address is going to be open for another 2 months. So that's just 33711 or PO Box 33711, Raleigh, North Carolina 27636, I believe it is. And then we're going to have a new address. Like I said, there's 2 months where both addresses are going to be live, and then that address is going to go away and we'll be promoting the new address. I didn't get the new address yet because I'm switching post office boxes, because if I don't, the old PO box is going to be like an hour away. It's already 30 minutes away. So if you could point at one or at least a few things, what do you think are making fear intolerable at the moment? What are they and how would you change them given the budget they have? Well, I mean, you could pretty much look at my first impression review and I spell it out. But if you want like a refresher, well, here's the thing. You're talking about changing it but keeping the budget. My biggest complaint is they need a bigger budget. That's number one. You're not going to change it and keep the same budget. If they can get it done with the budget they have, they would have been doing it. But one of the biggest things is stop having, areas like talking on the side of the road or in the middle of woods. Actually have areas and film it where it's immersive. But the storyline needs to do something instead of chasing its tail. Characters get separated. We have whole episodes that it's not doing shit. Like they have one idea is to tease the group that took Rick. And since there's not a lot you can do with that without revealing too much, we have characters who are just chasing their tails with these kids. And before it was like they're there, but now they run away. Now we're looking for Al. Now we're doing this. And then they find the one kid and they go and help. And then they do this. That's it. It's just chasing their tail. They need to incorporate stuff into the story that is actually pushing the plot ahead, but giving us some good story to do it with. With all the remakes in Hollywood, do you think it's only an admission of messing up previous movies, or Hollywood also admitting creativity is dead? Well, I think it's them admitting that it has nothing to do with creativity. It's them admitting that they fucked up or they gave it to people who fucked it up. But as far as creativity, I think that overshadows the problem. It's not that creativity is dead in Hollywood. There's a lot of people who are coming up with these amazing ideas. It's the money men is the biggest problem, because it's easier to produce something that has a built-in audience and there's less risk than even if it's done terrible, like Ghostbusters. If I made a movie called whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? That is going to make less money no matter what than if I wrote the next Ghostbusters movie. Why? Because you already have a built-in Ghostbusters fan base. So again, it has absolutely nothing to do with creativity. It has 100% to do with this is a business. And franchises that are already out, they already have fans that will 100% come and see the movie no matter what. Like, no matter what Predator movie you make, I'm going to see it because I'm a huge Predator fan. As long as the trailer looks a little bit decent, I will go and see that shit for real, That's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with creativity. As far as the messing up, yeah, they fucked up. What do you like better, 3D, Dolby, or IMAX? I have no clue, to be honest. I've never gone to an IMAX theater. American Horror Story is not really about ghosts. It's about murder, killer clowns, witches, cults, etc. I could have sworn there was ghosts, but like I said, I'm going to have to check it out. Ever check out series Eastbound and Down on HBO? It's pretty fucking hilarious. Nah, I've seen previews, but nothing that ever really interested me. It's on that long list of shit I'll eventually get to, though, you know? Was that P.O. Box 33711 Raleigh, NC? Yeah, that's it. Raleigh, this is a joke, but Robert Kirkman saw how much The Kingdom on Netflix blew up. Oh, yeah. Ever watch Sunny in Philadelphia? Yeah, I love that show. That shit's fucking hilarious. I don't think I've ever heard that. I wasn't really paying attention to it, but I don't think I heard that song Daniel was listening to. Ronnie, will you be watching The Boys? It's based off a comic written by the guy who wrote Preacher. I never heard anything about it, so I'm probably not going to watch it unless, I see some trailer or something that interests me. Favorite vampire film? Mine's From Dusk Till Dawn. Interview with a Vampire is one of my top favorites. I don't know about like a number one spot. I've never had to pick or never thought about it, but Interview with a Vampire is definitely up there. I like The Lost Boys. It's dated though, I'll admit. There's a good chunk that I like because of the nostalgia, but Interview with a Vampire is definitely probably my first pick, unless I'm forgetting some. What is some of the most disturbing horror movies you've ever seen? I heard Martyr is disturbing. I've always had a problem with this. I constantly hear, this is disturbing or that's bad. And I don't know. I feel like that's overrated. I don't think I've found any horror movies there might be like a scene or two that turns your stomach, but I haven't found anything that made me flinch yet. You're saying indie films that catch fire will be original content, big money making and production companies will just go for the built-in fan base. Wait, I don't know what you mean. You are saying indie films that catch fire will be original content and big money making production companies will just go for the built-in fan base. I don't know what you're saying, because if you have an indie film that's catching fire, a distribution company is going to latch on to that because they can make money. So essentially, what you're saying is not, the way you're saying it isn't adding up to how it happens in reality. In reality, if you have an indie, to get it made, you're not going to get people throwing money at you. But once it's made and it's fucking blowing up, that's when people are going to throw money at you. But again, that's because of the word of mouth, the audience reaction, the way the audience eats it up, and yada, yada, yada. Distributors know they can make money with that. So then they're going to put money into it. But it's about getting it made. Like, there's scripts out there, screenplays that are fucking phenomenal, but no one touches them because they don't think that there's an audience, or they're not sure there's an audience out there. Keep in mind, we still live in the same world that was unsure about The Walking Dead being good for anything. You know what I mean? Before it was a comic, they didn't even think a zombie comic would be popular. It wasn't just HBO and ABC and these other companies that didn't believe in it. Before it was a comic, they even told Kirkman, you need a hook, because people aren't just into zombie shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, the powers that be are so fucking dumb when it comes to reality. Is there's one thing, you need to enjoy it. That's it. Whether it's a comic, a show, or a movie, people need to enjoy it. There's massive zombie fans out there. As long as something is new and fresh and got that extra little freshness to it, those zombie fans will come out the woodwork. The ones that have turned their back on The Walking Dead even. You know what I'm saying? They're not out there going, I hate zombies forever. No, they're waiting for something that's new and fresh. The old formula just isn't doing it for them anymore, and yada, yada, yada. Same thing when it comes to new ideas. Like, I was just talking to a family member today, and I'm constantly working on like a binder of different ideas for novels and scripts and shit like that. And lately I've been thinking more and more about resurrecting one of my older ideas it's a horror genre. Now, again, I don't have much I can talk about, but essentially it's going to take place in a blizzard. And the working title right now is Blizzard of 93. Now, I lived through Blizzard of 93 and Blizzard of 97. I think 93, I think it was 93 and 97. Like, our whole town lost power for days. I think one of them was like a whole week. A whole week. We had like candlelight, no bullshit, and still had to, for like 2 or 3 days, still had to go to school and had no like power in the house, but still like made it up 30, like 20 minutes away to go to school. But it was only for like 2 days at towards the end when they were starting to turn on power, but it didn't quite reach us yet. But Blizzard of 93 and 97, again, I know it's 93. I think the other one was 97, but 93 was huge. I mean, the snow was like almost up to our roof and shit like that, where we can go up and jump off. So there's a concept there where we have this kind of creature and blends in with the snow. Again, I'm not going to say much about it, but I will have an artist. I will pay an artist to draw the cover. And then for the creature reveal, there will be an image of the creature towards the back end of the book once you get to that part of the storyline. But like I said, Blizzard of 93, the working title, horror in a small town. It takes place in 1993. And it takes place from a real event because this was like the storm of the century. And it has a real original design to a creature to it. No one's going to touch that. I mean, even if like I had connections in Hollywood, the chances of someone touching that are slim to none. Unless I was able to get it in someone's hands and they read it and they were like, there's no way this will lose money. There's no way we get the right creature effects, the right team working on it. But the thing is, if I had that script, Blizzard of 93, and then someone walks up and they say, yeah, you know what, I got this Ghostbusters, the new Flex, or some shit like that, they're going to look at Ghostbusters and take it and run all day, every day. Someone might come up with the new, Friday the 13th reboot or Nightmare Before Elm Street bullshit, They'll take that over anything that's original any day, all day, again, because that money's already there. The built-in fan base is already there. And it's not just about the show. It's about new merchandise, new shirts, new posters, new toys, new statues, new this, new that. So, after zombies, what's next? Monsters, thrillers, suspense? I don't know what you mean, Spin. I don't know if you mean like after I'm writing zombie, or I don't know if you mean me, or I don't know if you mean like pop culture, because it's it's any and everything. Whatever is the new hotness, It could, if someone creates a cool monster show or thriller or suspense, whatever's hot at the time. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes out, that's good. But I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean. Barry on HBO was actually pretty. That's on my list too. A couple people keep saying Barry, so I'm gonna check that out. Watch the trailer for the Watchmen series and The Boys. Yeah, Watchmen. I got my eye on that when it comes out. Not sure if there's something you can speak on because it is your business, and I know most don't like giving out their techniques, but any advice on how to write a comic story? Listen, bro, if you find someone who doesn't want to talk about their techniques on writing a comic, fucking slap them in the face. I've heard a couple people talk about that shit like that, but if anyone says there's techniques they can't talk about, they're so full of fucking shit. You know what I mean? They're absolutely full of shit. The problem, though, with giving blanket advice, like just general advice, is there's 1,000 different things you can say. I would need to know specifically, like, what part of the story are you having problems with? You're saying any advice on how to write a comic story. Yeah, I have no idea where you want the advice. The best bet is your first page and your last page. Look at those two because you have a start point and an end point. Now, you're going to start because you want something intriguing to catch them right away, to catch the readers right away, to pull them into the story right away, especially if you don't have any way to promote it and you're brand new. Like with the channel, I didn't have to do that. I could ease into it more with Doomsday Kingdom and just focus on telling the story the way I wanted to do it, because the way we were able to promote it on the channel, and that's a big thing. So you want the beginning to catch them. The ending, you want to leave them with an ending, and you have to save this for the very last page. You want to leave them with an ending that's going to make them interested to see what's on the next page or to what comes next in the story. It can't be the second to last page, not the third to last page. Depending on how the story unfolds, maybe you can play around with it, but that's rare. The last page needs to be that hook. What is going to happen next? They need to know what really is going to come next. And then in between there, look on, and again, this is hard. Are you bouncing all over the place? Is this big world building? Is this simply following a character? Like in Doomsday Kingdom, we simply followed a character and then shit started happening. That's the best general advice I can give you when it comes to a comic story. And that's usually in every single issue. You want that last page to either make the reader feel something, like feel rewarded, or to feel interested in the very next page or the next part of the story. Good night, Aaron P. Thanks for the clarification. I wasn't clear on the process. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Ronnie, if you could direct and brainstorm an episode in the Black Mirror universe, what would it be? Technology-centric? Well, yeah, it would have to be technology-centric. But off the top of my head, I don't have any ideas. I would have to sit down and brainstorm. Like Zombieland, if you had a couple rules to by what would they be for the zombie apocalypse? Rule number 1, cardio, laugh out loud. I don't know. I don't even remember all the rules. Are you a fan of Underworld movies? Yes and no. I was a fan when they first started coming out, and then I thought they turned to shit and got oversaturated and shit like that. All right. We're going to be shutting down soon, though. What are we at? An hour and 20 minutes? Oh, I dropped my lid. That's a bitch. Yeah, we're going to be shutting down, and I want to make sure there's nothing else lingering that I wanted to talk about. I think that's just it, The Walking Dead Typhoon. Will the streams moving forward be tailored to Hot Topic things with some Fear the Walking Dead sprinkled in? No. Fear the Walking Dead will no longer be in the streams. I'm sure there will be 1 or 2 people asking about it, but I will most likely just record like a 2 or 3 minute episode review. Good, bad, yes, no, why, yada, yada, yada. Keep it moving. And then if we can, we'll do a stream afterwards. And the reason I say that is because July, I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know what's going on, but July is going to be the move plus setting up the new internet, which should get set up July 15th. I have it scheduled for them to come and lay the wires. So what's going to happen is in the beginning of July till around the time they lay the wires and I get all set up, there's likely not going to be any streams. And again, they might be here and there. I'm not really sure yet. But there will be a drop in streams. But I might still be able to get up those little mini reviews. And we will have... People are asking me to do kind of like just random videos. They will be on the Ronnie Hayes, the personal channel, if I do those. And some of them might just be joking around with Juliet, or some of them might be the move. Some of them might be like setting up some, display stuff. You know what I mean? So, again, it's really up in the air. It's still good news because this recent Friday, they came out again to measure the area and to locate where they would have to go under the driveway with the drill. I forget what they call it, but it drills sideways to lay the wire in, and because they got to go 1,000 feet, they're bringing some connector closer for the internet. It's its whole big deal. Which again, this is great because Spectrum's doing it for free. essentially it's just the actual setup with internet and having the account. The other company, CenturyLink, I'm pretty sure. Was it CenturyLink? I know CenturyLink is there. Yeah, it was CenturyLink. They're the ones who wanted to charge me $5,000 to put the line in, and I wasn't anywhere close. I think we only brought in like $1,500 in donations. I wasn't even halfway there. So if it wasn't for Spectrum coming in, I don't know what the initial charge is, but like I said, we're only talking a couple $100 maybe compared to, and we've already got that because those donations that came in, I didn't spend that money, so we're pretty good right now. I mean, I'm feeling real good about it, but the that CenturyLink was never going to happen. And that would have been like a 6-month break without doing anything. No live streams for sure. And just having some uploaded video here and there. So, typical Juju isn't canceled, no. You're going to see more activity, especially now that it's summer. We're already planning. We already went out looking for a pool. Juliet's going to do this little video series goofing around. We've already went out looking for the pool she's going to use, but she wants to fill it up with different things. I told her to do the first one and just do like Jello. It'll be fun. It's for a kid's channel, so it'll be fun. A kid just thinking of some fun shit to do. So one of them is going to be her, filling her swimming pool up with Jello, or I don't know, some silly shit. Maybe a room full of bouncy balls or something. I told her to make a list. But yeah, there will be, because with Ronnie Hayes is the personal channel. With the move was something that screwed up our whole flow. Our transition from the old content to the newer content was going really good up until the move, which did set me back a little bit, because there was a few weeks there where I thought the channel's going down for a few months. Fuck it, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I legit was like, I'm just gonna pack, and I could have been like, oh, I'm packing and I'll real quick do a video about the news coming out. But I'll be honest, there's a part of me that was like, fuck this, fuck it, I'm done, because there's no chance with the CenturyLink. I'm not getting $5,000 to put the internet in, so I didn't have a chance of doing it. So I was like, well, fuck it, I'll just put together ideas for the future content, and I put together a ton. I mean, I have a whole binder. I have 3 binders right now. One is Doomsday Kingdom, one is Map, and did my brain just shut off? Okay. Doomsday Kingdom, Map, and another one's a book that is a secret project. So I don't know. I think it gets tricky, but I'm looking forward to it, because the content I'm in the middle of doing right now, like I said, the Dexter one is, the big part is done. I just watched, in the past week, I watched all 8 seasons of Dexter. I'm packing, I'm cooking dinner, like I'm watching all 8 seasons. So that's done. Next, I'm scripting 2 videos. The first video, again, I don't know which one's going to come first, but the first video's going to be about the pilot specifically, and the second video is going to be about the series as a whole, and then whether or not we're giving it that seal of approval for the Map channel, putting that show and others to come after it in like this special category where it wins like hands down highly recommended, and it's not just like, oh, this show's a good show, neat show. No, these are, it's must watch TV 100%, without a doubt. You gotta see it. So moving forward, we'll have lesser uploads on Make a Path Presents, more uploads on Ronnie Hayes as far as the random, the raw. It's my personal channel, and then Juliet in the summertime is gonna have her wild 30-second videos, 30-minute videos, and then she's gonna be doing some streaming as well once we're moved in a new place, which those videos will be on the personal channel. But I'm excited because the channel's coming from Make a Path Presents now forward. We're still covering The Walking Dead every Sunday, the main show, without a doubt. I don't know exactly which way we're going to do it right now, but we're still covering the main show. But moving forward, we're covering parts of entertainment that isn't gonna expire. Like, we're moving away from prediction videos or shit like that and leaks, and because it expires whenever that show or movie comes out. No one cares about that shit. I've talked about this 100 times. So yeah, Don Sims. About that, I can say, as far as I missed your old content for a long time, your breakdowns and analysis, those will return with and we're talking about episode breakdowns. We might have the big trailer breakdowns, but just once in a while for certain big moments, like with The Last of Us 2 or The Walking Dead Season 10 trailer, like those big moments, not like episode trailers. Like those we're not going to break down, but we will have those. But we're getting back into the breakdown and analysis videos, the deep dive ones. And again, it will be at the pace they're going to come out when they're done, not just like I need one every day. We're getting away from that. And it will be, right now I still have it in my head to do the main series episode by episode up until the 9th season. I'm not sure about doing from 10 on. We'll see, but up until the end of Rick and whatever. We also have the comic cover videos where I would like to catch up on. And is there anything else coming up? We have the explained, all those deep dives, the explained, the neck deep, the deeper intos. Those are all the ones that we're getting back to. Not any prediction videos. We're going away from those. Not any leaks or spoilers, obviously. We're not doing those. And the live streams, there is a chance, like I said, with this July break, there is a chance we might break away from the live streams for a few months and bring them back with The Walking Dead, and that's simply to test the algorithm. There seems to be this thing on YouTube where the algorithm is taking a hit, so we might take our older live streams and move them over to a map branded channel and leave this one pretty much live stream free, since the live streams seem to be what's really fucking with the algorithm. And again, part of it makes sense because I've been talking with some YouTube reps and shit, and part of it is tricky because you'll have group A that doesn't like live streams, and then you'll have group B that loves live streams. So when you're doing non-live streams, those people are coming, but then when you do live streams, those people are going, and the live stream people are coming. But then when you go back to non-live streams, you get the live stream people going, and then the non-live streams coming. So you constantly are juggling these two different groups. And YouTube, the way it is, if I take 1 month off and only do live streams, people think the channel is only live streams forever. But then if I do 1 month without live streams, people think we're never doing live streams again forever. So it is weird in a way where you need to just do one thing consistently. And if you want to do live streams, you're just going to have to push it over to a fresh channel or a different channel, which is tricky because you can't do live streams, I don't think, until you reach a certain amount of, or at least it used to be like that, where you reach a certain amount of subscribers and then you're allowed to do live streams. Unless they changed that. If they changed that, it'd make it a lot easier, because then I could just open a channel for just live streams, which is something we're looking at doing, which I fucking hate because I don't want 5,000 channels out there. You know what I mean? We already have Doomsday Kingdom channel, which I never use because I don't want a million channels out. But we already have the Doomsday Kingdom channel just to have it. We have my personal channel, which is Ronnie Hayes. Juliet has her channel, which is Typical Juju, which doesn't really count. It's her own thing whenever she wants to do videos. And then we have the Map channel. But imagine if we added another one, which would be the Map Livestream channel. It gets to be like, what the fuck? I just don't want all those channels. I do wish YouTube would have a tiered system where you can connect not just me on the back end, but on the front end from you guys. You could click on Make a Path Presents, and it would have a tiered system where it says, here's the main channel, and it would have a system to go personal channel, connected channel in a structured thing. I know you can put some on the side of your homepage and shit like that, but it's not the way I'm thinking of it. Even when you do search results, it should pop up and have the main channel and then indented all the connected channels connected to that main channel. I don't know why they don't do that. On the back end, you can do that, but from your perspective, you can't see it. I wish they could do that though. Good night, Superhero Cop Vlogs. We're gonna be shutting down real soon. Do I like Nicolas Cage? Yeah, I like him. He's ridiculous. Is it even possible for a map podcast with DD Gaming and James, whichever, or would that never happen? No. DD Gaming lives like 3 hours away. I know James is going to be living, once I move, he's going to be living like 5 minutes away, I think, because I'm moving 10 minutes down the street or 5 or 10 minutes down the street from him. So he'll be over once in a while, but DD Gaming lives fucking like 3 hours away. Unless we did some type of once in a while podcast with just audio, which is mostly what podcasts are. But I know on YouTube, why not just make it with video as well? It is YouTube. However, there's too much on my plate right now reinventing the channel and getting back to some of those older content to even think about a podcast. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about breaking down TV shows like in depth, getting back to those, and those are not easy to do. It's time consuming. That's why I keep stopping them. Well, in the past I was stopping them because I couldn't upload every day and then also do the research and scripting for those long deep dive videos. You just can't do both. I mean, maybe if you're rich and you can hire an editor, or you're making mad money and you can hire artists and all these people. I've seen bigger YouTubers like that. Sometimes I get jealous because that's just fucking easy. Hire people to do your editing, hire people to do the research, and you're good to go. You just show up, they got the script, you got an editor or someone to work on the script for you, you're there, That'd be fucking smooth and easy. But if you're the one-man army doing everything, it's time consuming. Thank you very much, Spin. I appreciate that. Ronnie, did you see the interview where the interviewer asks Ashley Johnson when does Last of Us 2 come out, and she stuttered and then said she cut herself off so fan think it's February? Yeah, I did see an interview like that, and that would fit what we know so far, either late 2019 or early 2020. I don't think it's any more of a mystery than that. Listen, it's either late 2019 or early 2020. We know it. We already know it. I don't think it really matters if she knows it's February or not. I think February would be awesome. That would be nice in the middle. Anything longer would be April, May. We'd be waiting almost a whole nother year for it to release. I'm cool with February. I still have hope. It might be late this year, but hope dwindles every day another day goes by. I fucked that up. Neck Deep is apparently a band, so be careful and don't get sued. You can't get sued for a title of a YouTube video. I don't mean to poke fun at you, but that's not how it works. Even if I wrote a book or made a video series called Neck Deep, I couldn't get sued either. There's a big difference between having a band and what they do and all that and how well known it is and what it's used for and yada yada yada. Like there was a war movie called The Walking Dead. There was actually a zombie movie called The Walking Dead. And what was the guy's name? I think it was Boris Karloff who was in that one. Yeah, no one sued Robert Kirkman because there's a difference when it comes to titles, and especially titles on YouTube. I could call my YouTube videos the fucking new Walking Dead and talk about my comic. No one's gonna sue me. That's just, there's no grounds for that. You know what I mean? It's kind of flimsy. That was a bad example, but you know what I'm saying. You can't get sued for a YouTube title. Would you agree that Fear the Walking Dead is like sex with a condom? You don't feel anything? Well, I would say it's worse. Make a Neck Deep channel. I don't want to do that. The Neck Deep ones are... the Neck Deep videos are a form of the Deeper Intos. It's an offshoot of the Deeper Intos. It's just... you'll see when we put out the first one, but yeah, it's going neck deep into the info and shit like that. But that stays on this channel. All those analysis ones, those deep dives, stay on this channel. It's the live streams I need to kick over to another channel. That's what's hurting the algorithm. What do you think? Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast is Rice. You know what I mean? I think he's just Rice. Uh, I like Rice. You know, I don't know how you can hate Rice, but it's just something to fill you up. You know, it's bland, no flavor. It's just I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've ever watched one of his videos and was like, oh, this is, you know, enjoyable or interesting. It's just, you know, let me sit on 1,000 tacks or stay up 24 hours repeating the same sentence, or let me give away $1,000,000. It's you know, it's the easiest content to get viral videos possible. I haven't seen anything offensive. It's not like he's going to strip clubs, smoking crack with hookers, and you know, having them dance around the screen. It's not like really demented shit. So I think for a guy, maybe it's the equivalent of just, you know what I mean. It's just, I don't know. I think pretty much anybody who's wealthy can flaunt $1,000,000 and get viral videos. I really don't think it's hard for anyone to do in that case. But like I said, it's not something where I think it's incredible content, but I also don't think it's offensive content at all. You know, it's just kind of like it's there. But like I said, I don't hate it. I don't like it. I don't think I've ever watched it and enjoyed it though. And good morning, Ronnie from the UK. Hope you're well. Thank you very much, Jason Paris. Deep down, Ronnie wants to meet Mr. Beast. Doesn't he live in North Carolina? See, that's a tricky one though, is because even if you were like I said, he seems like just a dude, regular dude, harmless dude. You could probably kick it with him, and he seems pretty cool. You know what I mean? But when you have a personality where your personality is someone who gives away a lot of money, and I would rather not meet him. You know what I mean? Because it would be awkward. Everyone, if you meet Mr. Beast, everyone is just like, well, you just want to meet him. Hopefully he gives you money. I'm good with just avoiding that. You know what I mean? If I ran into the dude, like I think we both live in North Carolina, if I ran into the dude without cameras, yeah, I think it'd be cool to kick it and have a conversation. There's some things that I do like. Again, I haven't watched enough of his videos to really pull. Like for example, I think he made older videos and scheduled them till they were later. I don't know if those are fake or if that's a skit or if those are legit. Like I said, I haven't watched his whole channel, but I think it'd be cool to kick it and pick his brain a bit. But I would rather do that off camera and yada yada yada, just to avoid that weird awkwardness. Because anyone who meets Mr. Beast, you know what I'm saying? You got that fucking oh, this is the money guy. He's giving away shit. I'd rather avoid that. Daniel and Skidmark were only great parts. I disagree. I don't think there was any. Do you like The Bell Life? I don't know what The Bell Life is. What was fun to watch? What first season? Series finales are hard to write and are rarely good. I like the movie The Crazies. I like that. I got it on Blu-ray. Caterpillar Incorporated, the world's largest construction equipment manufacturer, is messing with small businesses that use the word cat, including a small coffee shop. I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. I'm trying to look this up because that sentence you wrote, as I'm trying to read it, I can't make any sense out of that. Caterpillar Company. What is it? Nothing's coming up. Here's something. Caterpillar Incorporated is trying to stop a tiny cafe from using the word cat. That sounds fucking stupid. Construction giant Caterpillar Incorporated is in a trademark battle with one of its biggest threats, a coffee shop in Santa Cruz, California. The cafe is called Cat and Cloud, which is just way too similar to Caterpillar's cat trademark. And so the company is trying to stop the small business from using its feline adjacent name on certain items. The issue surrounds Cat and Cloud's apparel. The coffee shop had apparently filed a trademark to use its name on merchandise. Caterpillar, which currently does not want that to happen. Yeah, that's so fucking stupid. That's just a rich company being dicks. That's simple. As far as I think the coffee shop, uh, you know, money's gonna win, but I think the coffee shop, just on pure logic, should win. Then again, unless they're, because you see how the Caterpillar Incorporated has the black CAT, unless they avoid that, they should win. Unless they're doing the same thing as that. But I would imagine you're bringing that up because I talked about yada yada yada. That still doesn't apply to a YouTube video named Neck Deep and there being a band Neck Deep. I mean, we would have to both get into merchandising that looks similar and has the same type of blah 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 blah, in order for either one to pull a lawsuit. How do you feel about Joe Rogan? I like him. Do you like the cartoon from back in the day called The Centurions? I never heard of that one. There was an older The Crazies. I think George Romero did the old Crazies, but the new one with Timothy Olyphant is the one I like. Yeah, I like the new one. I don't think I've even watched the old one. I know my DVD has both of them, but I put it on and stopped it like 20 minutes later. I think I skipped around a bit. I just couldn't get into it. But yeah, let me get this shut down. I really got to do that Matt Mail video. I want to show this off. I've been looking at this. This is the last piece. Somebody sent me something in for Matt Mail that is just incredible. It's something NECA created. For me, it's nostalgic as shit, but it's probably the one piece that clarifies this new interest and love I have for displaying collectibles because like I said, I got into The Walking Dead, got into YouTube channels. I never had collectibles. Maybe I'd put like a poster up on my wall and shit like that, but I never had collectibles until my girlfriend bought me the zombie head with the screwdriver in it. It was like a DVD box set. And then I got into Walking Dead stuff, and then that branched out into slasher stuff and Predator stuff. And anyway, someone sent me in a final piece and I set it up on my counter here and I keep looking at it because it's like that looks just like the movie. It's absolutely incredible. But it's something about it where you can actually look at the figure and I don't know, there's something you get from it that's different than just looking at images online or watching the movie itself. Because you could look at the figure and the design and then you think about what their thought process was coming up with the design, and you could kind of see in real time, turn it all around, move it around. And again, I do this with aliens and with this new one, or monsters and in human characters, not only to get an idea of what I like and don't like when we create our own merchandise for Doomsday Kingdom and anything else that might come out, maybe, hopefully, but also I don't care if I'm old or if I start this next year, but I want to get into something that involves sculpting and painting and doing shit like that, creating stuff that isn't already out there. For example, the Krampus movie, the new one where it's like Santa Claus with like an extended face. There's no like figure or display that I know of with a Krampus. In a good one. I don't mean like some, cheaper, not real detailed. I mean like a NECA quality Krampus, like looks real good and shit. And I want to get into some of that. I don't care if we can only make a couple of them, or if I can only make just one for my desk or something. I want to get into a hobby creating things with my hands. I've always loved working with my hands. But like I said, somebody sent this in, a very generous gift in the most recent map mail. And looking at it on the side of my desk has definitely given me this bug to want to get into. And again, I don't know the first thing of what it would be, whether it's sculpting or working on effects or painting. Like, my interest right now is all of it. I want to take things that are either from movies or new and original creatures and work with them and bring them to life in some type of form like this, something where you can put on display, whether it's a statue or an articulated figure. But this just came in, and it's Shredder from the 1990s Turtle movies, and I just find it to be absolutely fascinating how it looks like it just was ripped right off the screen. One thing I really love about it is the way they designed like an old style, like Japanese or Chinese, whatever, old style Asian mask or type of armor. And then I don't know if this comes from like an idea from that time period, or this is kind of added on to something, but this chainmail look, and it carries over to the shoulder pads as well as the arm pads. They all have this chainmail kind of armor. Same thing with the shins. The one thing I don't get, and again, these are the things I think of when I'm looking at shit like this, is what were they thinking when they created this? You get the spikes because it's that intimidating look, It has all this intimidation factor to it. But why purple? That's one thing I didn't understand or couldn't understand. Why this purple look, especially purple with glitter? Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, it pops and it looks fucking cool, but it's kind of a ninja. The Foot Clan are black in their suits, and I'm thinking, why didn't they just go with black? And then I thought, he's the leader. And in some time periods, the color purple was a color of royalty. It was a more rare dye to get, you know what I mean? And again, and that's some places in some time periods. So maybe that's the people who were designing this. Maybe that was their thought pattern, was a more purple with this shine, because again, he is the leader. He's the royalty because everyone treats him like the king. And again, the combination of everything come together. I don't understand the cape. Still weird, but I think it looks fucking cool. It's just like a weird tinfoil. It's still cool as shit because it's based off the movie, but I never really paid attention to the cape in the movie. But anyhow, yeah, just the whole thought process of creating this. I look at it more and more and I'm thinking, this works. Like, this fucking works. You got the Shredder in the new Turtles movie and it looks so fucking just black. Yeah, that might look red because of the light blasting on it, but it's definitely a purple color. What was I just talking about? I was just talking about something and I was going to go in a different direction with it, but oh yeah, like that Shredder. I look at this Shredder and I'm thinking the helmet and the mask designs and his blades all over the place. Even the turtles, like their design from the 1990s movie. I was thinking, how hard would it be? How hard or incompetent is Hollywood where they couldn't take this design and use the technology we have nowadays with smaller pieces, better animatronics, create a design with this combined with some CGI and have Shredder look similar to how he did in the 90s, but either create a video game where you can be all four turtles or a movie. And again, use these designs, base it off of these earlier designs because they are still some of the best. NECA made figures that sold out like crazy. People are going nuts for them. There's been statues and all this other merchandise that has sold crazy. It's still, as far as the looks go, even the nostalgia to it, it has right now especially, it's at its like peak. And I think if Hollywood was serious, whoever has the rights to the movie universe, or I don't even know if they have the rights to use like those designs, like why don't they take those designs and move them over to a reboot, but again, build them, use those designs as the foundation to create something from that. I don't know, man. That's so fucking dumb. That shit would be off the hook. That would be so fucking stellar. I don't know. Chris Stanley, my bad, homie. With a $10 dono, thank you very much for the support on the channel. Hey, Ronnie, sorry I saw most of your live stream in traffic. Goddamn, the things I do for my job. My manager's last day had to get drinks. The traffic on the ride home wasn't worth missing your stream. I appreciate the support. Sorry you had some issues. Traffic can be a bitch, though. I know where I live, there's a 2-hour period where, you know, you don't fucking leave because it'll take you forever getting home. It's bumper to bumper. Meowcat Bissy says, after party on my channel, y'all, 10 minutes. Can you promote me? Haha. Yeah, I'm shutting this down. I'm reading the last few questions and then I'm shutting this down. So if you guys want to chill with Meowcat Bissy, have at it. That Master Shredder looks amazing. I think design-wise as well. NECA did a stellar job bringing that to life. But design-wise as well, it's so fucking cool. Better than what we get today, you know? Have you watched Zombie from 1979 yet? No. Do you mean that Italian one where it's like zombie without the E? I watched that a long time ago. I don't remember much from it. I thought you could run a car on certain kinds of liquor, and yet I've never seen them do pour whiskey in a car in any zombie thing. I know you can use whatever it is from, it's some type of ethanol from corn or some shit like that. They did actually do that in The Walking Dead season 9. I don't know much about it though. I didn't know you could run a car on whiskey though. I never heard of that. But like I said, I never looked into that, so I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll get into that kind of discussion when we talk about some of the survival stuff when I get to that, because I got 3 videos. It's a 3-part video series covering. There's more to it, but the first 3 are going to cover tires, a car battery, and vehicle fuel. I'll just say that. Car fuel, whatever. And it'll cover what would happen in reality with a car sitting with the tires. It'll cover the battery, and then it'll cover what type of gas you can use, and how does gas go bad, and that whole process. So but yeah, I do got to get going. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, and I will not see you next Sunday. not for Fear the Walking Dead. I might try to just do like one of the last live streams this coming Sunday and the Sunday after. And like I said, in July, at least for the first 2 weeks, we will most likely be taking a break. I'm going to cover Stranger Things though. That's early July. I think it comes out July 4th. You guys let me know if you want to do episode by episode or the whole series. I think we did episode by episode last time, so I think we might stick with that. I think we did it for season 1 and season 2, so, or maybe just season 2, but let me know if you guys are interested in something like that again this time. But have a good night. Thank you guys for the support on here, on Patreon, and just overall. And I can't wait to get this move done, and you guys are going to finally start seeing some of the more polished content. Keep in mind, Dexter's the very next one. Keep an eye out for that. I'm trying to have those done as soon as possible, and then create a schedule for what could be coming now that we're transitioning into the new content. The deep dives, the analysis without prediction videos and shit like that. So have a good night. I love yous.